We ready? All right, go. Rissa, you there? I got you.
Yep.
There you go. He's back.
Mic check. Rashida?
Yep, I'm here.
Dope. All right, so just to make the long story short, it was a bunch of different things that happened that led to me riding by myself. A few things happened on the way there, but I filled up. I got back in the car, started to drive, and I felt the presence. Now, I've had other experiences where I felt presences and had guys and stuff there, so I wasn't, I wasn't scared or anything. I kind of knew what was about to happen, but I did not know this was about to happen. So I felt the presence, and I felt him there next to me, and then he said, the first words he said was, "I am the one you call Jesus." And from there, he pretty much talked about the beginning of his life, past this went on for about at least 4 hours or so. From the beginning of his life all the way to after, when he was with Mary, after he was dead. You know what I mean? Like, he literally gave me all that information in that time. So I could, like, if anybody asks me a question, it's better for me to grab, because as I was saying, as he was talking, I was trying to capture this stuff and I wasn't doing it well. It's like, so when he talked about Nanda. Ananda. Yeah, so he talked about that, but I thought he said what is it? Amanda. So I thought he said Amanda. So I went and I Googled Amanda, and I'm like, Jesus and Amanda. Just nothing was coming. So it was a few things that I heard that I really didn't understand. Like I said, he was going so fast or whatever. But at the same time, it was a load of information, and I knew it was at the time I was like, wow, when I tell this information to everyone, this is going to, and then of course I started to think about how people were going to take it, how many friends I was going to lose, how many family members I was going to lose, and all those other good things. But at the same time, it's just been a burning passion that he said I signed up to talk about a long time ago. So
Yeah, I love that.
so it was he was there. He didn't leave until I had to fill back up again, and I thought he was gonna come back after that because I still had a nice little ride going, but he didn't. But at the same time, what he gave me was just magical. And what's crazy too is, now, if this tied in, it got to be tied in because he joked about it with me before. I only had a few grays, in my beard or whatever, before this. The grays just start pouring in my beard after it. Also, too, I lost my hair about, I say, between 15 and 20 years ago. Crohn's disease situations, different things like that. My hair has been growing back ever since that day. And I'm so excited about having some hair. You have no idea. I'll be in the mirror every morning, oh, that one wasn't there yesterday. That one wasn't there yesterday. Oh man, because and I really didn't know how much it meant to me to lose that and lose it in that way. But so I've been just telling people what he's told me ever since, and some can take it and some can't. But to just actually have a person who's also had those type of experiences and not looking at me like I'm crazy,
Yeah.
is is really dope feeling to have, and I'm sure other people who are having these things happen are happy to see a person like you also having them. You know, do you got like you want to know anything about the situation, or I want to also know more about like when you were channeling them, so we can go however you want to do it.
Yeah. I feel called to answer your original question now that I remember, which was like, you know, had I had all those experiences and did I shut it down at some point? So after I had the abduction experience, right around when I was like 10 or 11, I was in the Girl Scouts and I went on this camping trip, but it was like in this big camping ground. So there was big buildings that we would sleep in. And one of the buildings we were sleeping in at the time, it was all the Girl Scouts and then all the chaperones all in one building, and we were all like on the floor in our sleeping bag. And I got woken up out of the middle of the night, and I felt that energy of like presence of something there. And everybody was asleep. It was pitch black out in the building. And then I looked up, and the ceiling was covered in angels, like golden figures that were hovering over everybody. And it was like everybody's guardian angels, and it terrified me because it was one of those things that like I could actually see. And I was also, you know, old enough at that time to where everything my mom told me was imaginary when I was a kid, I was able to brush it off. But now I'm, you know, a 10 or 11-year-old kid, and I'm like, I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm seeing this. I'm awake. This is not something I'm imagining. And I didn't understand what to do about it or what to do with it. So I just kind of prayed for it to go away. And then I didn't have many experiences like that until I got older, after, you know, kind of going through a dark night of the soul with substance abuse and kind of numbing myself from those experiences and from that gift because I was terrified and I didn't understand it. So then when I got older and I got clean from the opiates I was abusing.
Can we talk about that a minute? Because a lot of my viewers are going through that. My father had an opioid addiction my whole life, so I've experienced it firsthand. You know, and he had a pretty bad one. So I've definitely experienced it. So can you talk about your fight with it, if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of what drew me to just substance abuse in general was me, you know, in hindsight, I realized this. At the time, I didn't realize it, but I was a kid who felt different, who always knew she was different, who never really felt like anybody had an explanation of why I was different or what was going on with me. And so after just a lot of those experiences of not feeling understood, I gravitated towards a bunch of other kids that didn't feel like they were understood. And that also included, you know, parties and drugs. It started with cannabis, and then it turned to cocaine, and then it turned to pills of whatever kind, and, you know, ecstasy or whatever. And then that's when I kind of was introduced to opiates. And it was through like my first relationship with somebody. And you know, he had been doing it, but I didn't know. And we would just party whenever I'd be in town. I was in a long distance relationship with him, and we'd just be partying. And then eventually I would be doing those same substances after the party and for a couple days after and a couple more days after. And then I'd come back to Arizona where I was in college, and I would, you know, do my studies and stuff. And then I'd go back and do the same thing. And eventually I moved out there. It was to Washington State at the time. And that's when the party kind of started because I was there and then never ended. And so I kind of just kept doing these pills. And eventually I was a pretty functioning addict. I was like still going to college and getting good grades. I was still working and making money and, you know, taking care of the house, taking care of myself. But it was interesting because at the time I was studying psychology and I was in an abnormal psychology class, and we talked about addiction. And in the chapters that we were talking about addiction, I was like, oh, this sounds like me. So I kind of had a realization that I was struggling with addiction when I was studying it. And so otherwise I probably wouldn't have realized that was what was going on until I tried to stop. And then that's when when I found out what was going on, I tried to stop, and then I recognized I was physically dependent on it. And so that, was a whole experience. I had a lot of different experiences, but I abused that for about 4 years total. But like I said, I had been kind of using substances as a way to numb myself from my experiences and my sensitivities to energy since I was like, 13, 14. So I think that happens a lot. And I think that a lot of times we don't realize that when we turn to substances, it's not only to try to numb ourselves from the trauma we've experienced, but it's also an attempt to numb ourselves from the different abilities we have and the sensitivity to energy that we have that we don't understand. And so when I got clean, I ended up having an incredible struggle with anxiety. I was having panic attacks and anxiety issues for so long after I got clean. And I was really frustrated because I was like, okay, I cleaned my life up and now I'm dealing with this, like what's going on? And so I tried to get help and treatment, counseling, medical treatment, anti-anxiety medications. Nothing was working. And so I ended up having a friend at the time who her mom did readings. And I was like, I don't know about that. I was taught in my faith, like, that's weird and not okay. And she was like, honestly, nothing's working for you. And like, wouldn't you rather have an answer? Plus, my mom only connects with angels. She's also Christian. Like, it's totally not anything creepy. And I was like, all right, let me try it. And that reading changed my life. The woman gave me, literally told me my whole life story. She's like, you've had this gift since you were little. You've never understood it. You've always been afraid of it. You tried to push it away and it went away for a little bit. But now that you are done kind of drowning yourself in substances, you're being called to your purpose and you need to use your gifts for what they were meant for, which is to help people. And these are gifts from God. And you are having this anxiety because you are feeling the energy that you're picking up on and the spirits that you're picking up on, but you don't have a way to translate that. You're kind of learning how to regain that ability after shutting it down. And so she's like, take these cards. These were actually the exact deck that she gave me. I still have them today. They've got little angel wings on them. So I was like, okay, I guess this is okay. And she's like, anytime you feel anxious, pull one of these cards and it's going to help you to understand what is trying to communicate with you and what it's trying to communicate with you about. And your anxiety should go away because you're translating the energy you're feeling instead of kind of holding it in and imploding from inside. And so I started doing that and it worked and I was fascinated. And that's what really helped me to realize that my gift was actually something that could help me and that it was actually okay. And I just studied everything from that point. I really feel like spirit kind of took over from that point and just led me down like several training boot camps, from meditation to crystals to yoga to chakras to channeling to aliens and everything else. I mean, I had already pretty much gone through the alien boot camp younger after the abduction, but and so I just kind of got led in that way. And I thought I was going to be a psychologist and have my own private practice, and now I use my psychology with my gifts and provide a completely different, kind of practice. But it's still kind of all what I thought I was going to do, just a lot different.
Yeah, I was like, you're a lot more than the psychiatrist.
Yeah. I would have been cool with the basic life of a psychologist because being weird like this is not always easy. But I'm happy.
Who you telling?
I'm surrendered to God's plan, and this is God's plan, so I'm grateful.
That's dope. One of you do past life regressions.
Yeah.
I don't know why my tongue is so tired.
Yeah, kind of like
my tongue is just so tired today.
No, it's okay. I put my own spin on it, so yeah.
What's your own spin?
Yeah, so I do past life regressions, which is like the traditional term, but then I also do parallel life progressions. So I help people, and that's kind of what you had last time.
Okay, that's what I had.
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay, cool.
Past life, and we regress to that, and we explore that. But then before we're done with the session, we also tap into the future self, the present self, and the future selves.
Right.
They're parallel realities or timelines of our life that want to integrate with us right now, just to kind of get a complete picture instead of just in the past. Because I feel like there's a lot more to integrate.
Yeah, because when I saw my past, I went back far. So, I mean, I understand what's going on, but I think just the average person would have been a little nervous if they, saw what I saw. But at the same time, they'll let you know when you need to know. But just the interaction with my higher self also was, oh man, it was just such a dope experience. And, just like another friend, like it's your higher self, but it's, you can get them on that friend level. And when you do, like you really won't even think about what these people, I would say, on earth do. Like you're not worried about it no more. And that's what I would tell a lot of people, like the calm that comes with this is like second to none. And one of the things that like Jesus made me feel is like, it's like you don't have to know anything. Like you don't have to have anything. Everything is inside of you. And he said to me, one of the only times that we like looked at each other or whatever, he said, I can never be as, dang man, he said, I can never be as proud of you as I am right now. And nobody had ever said that to me. And hearing that from him, it just gave me this sense of like what else do I need to worry about? But also understanding that I never needed to worry about that anyway. So I do want people to have the opportunity to do these things. And one thing is starting with the cards. So let's go ahead and talk about them.
Yeah, so I made my own deck. So
yeah, and I bought them.
Everybody knows my story. I ended up making my own deck, fast forward 12 years of doing this work and going through that experience. And now I teach people how to access their intuition, and the cards are such a great tool for that. I use oracle cards, not tarot, because tarot is a little different. I feel like tarot, has its own system and it's very etched in past history. And sometimes that can create some heaviness or even some distortion of energy. But I think there's it's really dependent on the channel, the person who's pulling them. So it's like everything in spiritual realm is about the intention.
Okay.
And the intention is to connect to God. It's the connection to spirit, connection to source, connection to the highest frequency things. Then that's what you're going to get.
One thing that I like, just before you go, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The feeling of everyone understanding your intentions first.
Yeah.
I have never felt that either. So just not having to explain myself, not having to be nothing or try to know, just they know exactly the love like that. That's something I want everybody to experience.
Yeah.
Because you're not worrying about nothing, like you see everything. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's just something I just had to say, because that's just one of the most amazing feelings that I've ever had, that I want people to make sure that they have too, where people can just see who you are, what you are, why you here, all that right then and there. So if you're a person of love, then that's something that you should welcome. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that's misconstrued in the spiritual community versus the religious community, is that a lot of religious communities and theology is based in this condemnation and judgment instead of what I believe Jesus was really here to teach us, which is God is love. And when you look at everybody with that eye, with that lens, like see people through God's eyes as the creator, like, okay, this person was created on earth for something special and was created so beautifully and divinely. Then when you look at somebody like that, you can easily tell their intention. And also, even things with like cards and crystals and meditation, you can see God in everything. And all of these things become a tool to connect with God more versus something that's condemned as, a distraction from him. Because I use these cards and I pray, I connect with God, and I say I want God's will and God's message to come through these cards so that I can understand what God's trying to tell me better, or that my clients can understand what God's trying to tell them better through me, through the cards as a tool. So, when you have that intention, and I'm not going to pretend like every reader and every psychic is intentioned that way. They're not everybody has good intentions, But being able to sharpen your intuition with practice and with acceptance that you have it and with utilization of it will help you discern the difference. And that's huge versus using like a set of rigid beliefs that kind of blanket everything
Absolutely.
under something that's not okay when really it's not that. It's your intuition that's going to be able to tell the difference if you allow it to.
Man, absolutely. And I can't wait for people to really understand and learn that. So with the cards, now I haven't cleansed my cards yet. I haven't saged them yet.
Yeah.
And I haven't did the like prayer over each one of them yet. So I kind of don't know if I really want to mess with them until I do that. But
that's okay. Yeah. I've got mine, and so I can
show people how to use them, please.
Yeah. So on my website, you can go to www.risavibes.com and get your card deck in the product section. But I also have a video on there on how to use your deck, how to even pick a deck if you don't end up getting this deck. You can, if you have another deck you resonate with, you can get, and how to bless them and how to set a good intention with them and just kind of declare them as the tool that they are. And so this is the first time I'm actually pulling from this deck after cleansing them already. So I'll get rid of the info cards. But so essentially what you want to do whenever you have your deck is you want to, after you bless them, cleanse them, set the intentions for them, connected with them. I usually will like hold them to my heart and just kind of like feel the energy because everything's energy. So just like allowing my heart to connect with the cards as a tool to feel and hear God's word and message more. And then, you can just shuffle them however you want to shuffle them, which we already got a card falling out. But yeah, just shuffling however you want to shuffle them for whatever message. So right now I'm just kind of asking for a general message for this audience, whatever is meant to be shared. And then cards will either fly out like they just did, or they'll kind of like that, or they'll kind of pop out of the deck. And so, let's see what we got. So we have 3 different cards. The first one is, this one is the Rituals of Righteousness card. And so this is all about really connecting to a spiritual practice that feels aligned to you and to be open to that being something that you do consistently to help you connect deeper with spirit. So it's also about initiation. So it says you are undergoing an initiation. A new level of magic is flowing through you now. Do a simple ritual to honor and affirm your new gifts and new intentions. Though things may feel unknown or mysterious, know this, you are right where you need to be. And then each card also comes with an affirmation to bring that energy in more. And so the affirmation is, I allow the highest vibrational ritual and magic to flow through me as the vessel that I am. And a ritual can be as simple as a prayer. It can be a meditation. It could be a journaling. It could be, setting an intention and lighting a candle. Whatever you could get as, mystic as you want or as religious as you want. It's all beautiful, whatever you're called to do. And then the second one is hone your home frequency, which I love for this because everybody has an energetic fingerprint. And that energetic fingerprint is your unique energy signature. It's your unique energy expression. And when you can meditate enough to feel what your natural, authentic energy expression is, then you'll always know when something is interfering with it. And you'll also always know when you're feeling something from an energy that's not you. So that's also really helpful. I think I just turned my light off. Sorry, guys. So this says, a ripple like the tide, a buzzing like the cosmos. It's time to reconnect with your unique energetic fingerprint. Allow yourself to identify and bask in the beauty of your own natural essence. Honor the fact that there is no one and nothing that carries the same vibration as you. And the affirmation is, I am divinely and uniquely created by source. There is nothing that can compare to my vibe. And so that's just so true in authenticity. And then lastly, the higher self card, which I love. You were just talking about your higher self. And this is so important, especially for people that are new to this. It's like you have a part of you that is your purest positive potential called your higher self. And when you allow yourself to connect with it more intentionally, because you can always feel it. That's what we're always chasing. Right? We're always chasing. That's where our goals come from. Like it's to achieve the experience of our highest self. But not all people realize that that's what we're really doing. And so when you do, you become more clear on how to get there. It says your purest positive potential is present as a guide for you to help you become all you came here to be. You are being called to communicate and specifically connect with your higher self at this time for the guidance and clarity that you need, particularly regarding your soul power. And the affirmation is, I open my heart to receive guidance from my higher self as it nurtures and uplifts me at this time. And, you know, I call the heart the conscious compass in the intuitive development program that I created, which is actually, it goes with these cards. But, you know, our heart is our conscious compass. It's what leads us to the next thing we're supposed to experience. And our intuition is what speaks through our heart to guide us in that. And so when you open your heart to love, to acceptance, to connecting with your higher self or God in a deeper way, and other beings, then you end up getting guided down the path of realizing what's out there and what's here to support you.
Man, I mean, I just can't wait for people to see the synchronicities in these cards and how they gonna like help them out. Like, when you understand that and how they come and the way that you're gonna feel after you feeling like certain spirits or whatever. Like, I just can't wait for people to see them. Real quickly, I want to touch on channeling.
Yes, for sure.
Because people don't know a lot about channeling. They just think people are possessed or something of that nature, but most of them never even seen a channel or don't know what a channel is. Can you please tell them what a channel is?
Yeah, so a channel is essentially someone who is able to get into a state of trance enough to eliminate all biases, judgment, doubt, and fear, and stand purely in connection to spirit, so much so that they're able to allow spirit to speak through them, move through them, and, you know, maneuver through them. And it's not a possession. It's different. Like, possession is more of like the person doesn't have any control. Like, the spirit has completely taken over that person's sovereignty and willpower. And that's much more of a diabolical, like, dark kind of energy experience. But with channeling is the intentional purifying of your channel, opening up your channel and connecting that with source so that you become a vessel for source to speak through, or for beings that are of the highest vibration to speak through. And so I always channel, you know, beings of the highest love and light. I always set that intention every time I do channel. And honestly, channeling started happening, you know, involuntarily for me. Like, I didn't want to be a channel. I wasn't interested in that. I was learning about channeling at the time, and then started having really intense channeling experiences. And in the beginning, I wasn't able to control it. Like, I would start channeling in the grocery store and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? And so I was able to kind of get more control, because it wasn't so much that it was taking over me, but it was more so me not knowing. It's like when you see Spider-Man, like, he realizes he has this power, and it's like, like he's like spinning webs everywhere, and he's like, what's going on? It was kind of like that. It was like, okay, I can control this, but how? How do I control this? And how do I interact with this happening to me? And then when I met Bashar, Daryl Anka, I was able to talk to Daryl Anka about what was happening to me, because it was happening at that moment, at that time in my life. And he was able to tell me, like, you know, you are a channel, you know, everybody can access this, but some people access it accidentally or more potently than others. And the best thing to do is to just set a specific time and place for you to channel, and then start practicing that, because that's what ends up helping you get used to it. And so I've been able to channel a lot of different beings: Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, Gandhi, Archangel Michael, a lot of galactic beings, the Arcturians, just a lot of different beings of the highest love and light, and get messages from them directly. And I'm a trance channel, so there's different types of channeling. Some people can walk around, like Abraham Hicks, who walks around, and can keep her eyes open and look around. I tend to enjoy keeping my eyes closed because it just helps me focus. But often my channeling out, my mannerisms will change. My voice sometimes changes, not as much as dramatically as it used to, because I think I've integrated it more now. But yeah, and then the energy in the room really shifts. So the difference in channeling to like giving a reading is that my clients can directly speak with that spirit, that energy that's coming through me. And sometimes I'll remember all of it. Sometimes I'll only remember pieces when I come out of it, because a lot of times it feels like I'm kind of sitting in the back seat of my consciousness and letting spirit drive. And I can kind of hear, you know, like when you're in the back seat, you can kind of hear the conversation in the front, but not always. It's kind of like that. So, but then I can usually still reference the conversation after, because spirit will like kind of give me the ability to hear or see what was going on at the time. So I don't know if that answers your question too much or not enough.
Absolutely. No, exactly where it needs to be. And to understand that people can come to your website and they can get these things done to them, right? I mean, you will help them. Yeah. So that's what I mean.
I can teach people how to access their gifts and open their channel, and everybody's channel opens differently and everybody's gifts are different. So, you know, you can develop your gifts, you can develop clairvoyance, you can develop the ability to see spirit or hear spirit or sense it, or channel, but it just may come through a different way because you're a unique vessel, right? And so I teach people how to do that, but then I also provide channeled sessions and past life regressions and stuff for the people that are just wanting to get, you know, a reading and kind of see what it's about first.
So how do I get to you?
Yeah, www.risavibes.com. That's my website. You can book directly through there, and the one-on-one readings, all the reading schedules are set for Eastern time. So just keep that in mind. And then you can also do like a consultation for coaching or counseling if that's something you feel like you're interested in. And also my Instagram is Rissa Vibes Official for like kind of my hub of stuff. And then TikTok is Rissa Vibes. Yeah. And then my music's on all streaming services under Rissa Vibes as well.
That's dope. And we gotta cut out of here, but we definitely gotta do this again, because really we haven't tapped into 25% of like what I really wanted to tap into. So we're gonna have to figure this out, how to get you back on. But one thing real quick is you talked about Bashar. So talking about the hybrids. How many have you met?
Well, I'm sure I've met more than I think. But I've seen specifically a reptilian hybrid, like in real life, shapeshift in front of me, which is actually kind of wild. But I would consider, I mean, it depends on what you mean by a hybrid, because there's starseeds who identify as human and they know they're human like myself, but I'm very much connected to my galactic.
So you are a starseed?
For sure.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I knew something was going on.
I'm much more familiar with the Earth than I
knew something was going on.
Space feels much more comforting to me as home than Earth. So I guess I'm kind of a hybrid in that sense, that I'm human, but I'm more connected to my galactic lineage. But then there's also people on Earth that are humanoid and also have a lot of physical access to their galactic origin, which is kind of a little different. So.
And that's why I look at you, because look, you got the perfect skin, the tall, the perfect hair, the teeth, the attitude, the connection to. I'm telling you, I was like, she definitely is, because they just don't make them like that down here. That's some type of star child right there, gotta be. And it's
I mean, being 6 foot tall and like
right,
super psychic is kind of a giveaway. I don't think like,
come on now, like okay, you got us. No, I'm joking, but no, thank you so much for everything, for being on here. Everybody, please go get those cards. Please get a reading. Please get all the information that you can so you can be yourself. Those are the cards right there. They come with a holder. Just go see it, because it's going to take you to exactly where you need to go. But I'm going to leave you as I always leave you. All that is a puzzle, and you are your authentic puzzle piece. You cannot fit into anyone else's spot. You must be yourself. And all that is can't be all that is unless you fit in your spot. So be yourself. It's the easiest thing in the world. Being somebody else is the hardest. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.
Check, check. 1, 2 for the mind state. That's Cortez and Emery Law. Welcome to the show. Y'all tuned in now. Hit record, time to make it real. This that one show, mentally ill. We don't hide, we just chill. We say the kind of things that you feel. Raw talk from the couch to the curb. Every dark thought from the city to the burbs. From panics on Belle Isle, we even picking up calls. We unpack it all, no mask, no filter at all. Dare say, how you been? Low say, man, where I begin. From meds on the sink, to nights you overthink. We drag it to the light, let it blink.
This is mentally ill. Say it out loud till it pop like the